Hi, I'm Wanda from Alanda Craft, and this is part 2 of our Brother Dream Machine overview, and in this video I'm going to take you through the screens that are available to you on this machine. So the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is turn the machine on, and I've taken you back to this point because I just want to show you how this comes in when you first turn it on. It only takes a few seconds. You can see there you've got your little timer. And then listen to that. Isn't that just beautiful? It just makes you want to come and sew. I just love this. Now I can let this run through, but I won't. We'll get on with what we're supposed to be doing. So I just press the screen and it'll take me through to the home screen. Now the first thing I think we'll do is we'll go across the top here and I'll show you what these are. So this is a camera, and this, as you can see, it highlights the foot and my material, and great for embroidery, for needle placement. You can just move your piece of fabric around and this will just highlight everything for you. So that's brilliant. I'll just press OK. This is our settings. Now in here you can come here and you can set things, so you can turn your needle up and down on so that it always finishes in the down position. There's 9 pages of settings that you can actually play with in here and get the machine to work exactly how you want it to work. Alright, so this is our help screen, and we have our operation guide, sewing guide, pattern explanation and videos. Now this one here, it locks things when you're going to, if you have a broken needle and you need to change it, and it locks it so that everything is safe and you're not likely to put a needle through your finger or anything like that. Okay, let's take that off. Okay, so this one here, this locks the screen here. So when you're sewing, sometimes you can lean across to do something and you might hit the screen and it'll change your settings. So when you've got something set up, if you press this, it won't matter if you touch the screen, nothing will change. You can see there. And then of course that's just the home screen. So here we are. You can see that we have 4 different options here. We have sewing, embroidery, Disney and my design center. To start with, we'll just go through the sewing options. So just press on sewing, and you can see here I've actually got a straight stitch already selected, and it tells me that I need to use a J foot, and it shows me what the stitch is going to look like, and it's also coloured. Now I can change that colour, and that's ideal when I'm using the camera, because I can change the stitching, the colour, so that I can see it and see where it's going to stitch. It will stand out on my fabric. Now there are a number of stitches in here. There's quite a lot of stitches, and you can see here I have some arrows. So if I press on the arrow, it'll move the screen up. But I can also use my stylus just to bring things back how I want them. Oops. And there we go. Now there's also more options than just that first screen. Here we are, we have more options again. We have some buttonhole options, and there we go. Lots and lots of options. Now, as I said, it's showing me that I need a J foot. Now if I choose another stitch, so if I choose this one here, you can see it's telling me I now need to change my foot to a G foot so that I don't end up with any needle breakages. I can also come into here to zoom in, so it can also change the colours in the screen. But I can zoom in and see exactly what that stitch is going to look like. Press OK, and we go back to where we were. Now down the bottom here you'll see you've got your usual width, length, shift and tensions, and you can change those. These are all the defaults, but you can change them to whatever suits you for whatever you're sewing. So now I'm going to show you the character decorative stitches, and you have heaps of these as well. So let's just select one, and as you can see you can scroll down. You've got dozens and dozens and dozens of stitches, all beautiful stitches there. Let's go return, and we have them in 7, 8, more stitches, and we have some fonts, and you have upper and lower case, and also characters and other sorts of alphabets. And down here is where you can create your own stitches, so that's really nice to know. So if I come up here and I select a stitch, and I might select it again, and then I select another stitch, and you can see how they stack. And you have all these options down the side here where you can edit these stitches and get things looking how you want them to look. So lots and lots of lovely stitches in there that you can use with your sewing. So now we're going to have a look at the embroidery files, and we have lots of them in here. As you can see, there are 11 categories here. Now if I select this category here, you can see that there's a lot of files in here, and if I come to the slider, there's even more. So you've got plenty and plenty of options. Go in again and select another one, and we've got all these other beautiful patterns in here. So lots of patterns for you to choose from. Now we've also got our alphabet. So here we are, we've got all our fonts. Select a font, and we'll just write a word. And we can make changes to it. We can make it smaller, larger. So there's 3 sizes, large, medium and small. We can also change the aspect. So if we want to, we can have it curving up or down, and you can see the options that you have there. And we also have an alignment key here of how you want your fonts to be aligned on your screen. So return. And here we have some pretty fonts. Okay, so we've got these, and they've got all those flowers next to them. It looks lovely. Okay. And then we have our shapes. Now we've got a circle, but as you can see under the circles, there's all sorts of circles here. They've got all sorts of shapes around them. So you have a number of options there. Again, with the squares, same sort of thing, hearts. So plenty to choose from. Now here you have buttonholes, and you also have some fancy patterns that go around buttonholes. So just to dress them up a bit. So that's really, really nice. And here are your bobbin work patterns, and again you have lots of options. So that's working using your bobbin. And now you can also get to your Disney characters from here. So you can get to them from the home screen, or you can get to them from the screen here. And let's just have a look here. So again, you get more than one. The one that you see on the front is just a guide as to what it's about. But as you can see, you get lots and lots of characters, and Disney, Daffy Duck and Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse. So now I'm going to select a design and just take you through the steps of how to get it to the embroidery stage. So I'll come in here, and I'm just going to scroll down and select this butterfly because I think it's rather beautiful. Okay, so you can see here it tells me how big the butterfly is, it tells me how many stitches it's going to take to stitch it out, how many minutes, and how many colour changes. Now, if you can't see your design very well on the screen, you have the option to change the background. So you can go here and you can select the grey, or you can select the black. I'm going to go back to the white because I can see that quite clearly. It shows me the colours that I'll be going to use, and when I get to there I can just go to set. Now I may decide that I don't particularly like a colour. I can come up here and I can just select the colour and I can change it. So I might want to change it to something like that. I think that's nice, so I'll say, oh yes, that's fine. However, what if I don't like the colour of the whole thing? Well, I can come down here and go to colour shuffling. Now this gives me an option to choose random colours, vivid colours, gradient colours and soft colours. So let's just check the random and go OK. And you can see here how the colours are starting to change, and it's giving me a whole lot of options. And suppose I say I don't really like any of those, I can refresh the screen again until I see something that I like. So let's just go with this one here. Okay, so I'm going to go set, and now there I have my design. So again, if I want to make any changes, I can do that. I can also come into here and I can make the changes at this point here. Alright, but everything's ready to go, so we just go to embroidery, and you can see it's going to show you on the screen how to stitch things out, how it's going to stitch with each colour, so you can keep track of this all the way through. So once I get to this point, I need to show you here, you can also see your hoop size. You can see here I have an option of 2 hoop sizes. These are greyed out, so I can't use the smaller hoops. Definitely needs to have a larger hoop. Okay, so we're ready to stitch out now, And so I just go to my machine and press the start button. So the next option on our screen are the Disney characters. Now we've already been through these when we were on our embroidery screen, so we don't need to go through those again. So now we come to My Design Centre, and this is where you digitize your own designs. Now just before we get into that, we can also scan an image into the machine. Now those of you who've got a Brother Scan and Cut will be fully aware of how all this sort of thing works. So you can import an image file. You can bring it in as a line drawing or as an illustration. Now if you want to draw your own designs, you select the pencil here. And we'll just go and draw some lines. Right, now I might want to change the colour of those lines, so I select the fill. I come down here to Properties. And you can see here that I can change the colour of those lines. I press OK. Now, making sure that's still selected, which it is, come over here and you can see that it's changed to a different colour. Now I can go in and have a closer look at that. I can zoom in up to 800%, and so you get plenty of option to look at your design. Then we go back to 100%. Now I might want to colour in those squares, so I come down to this next little section here. Press Fill, press Properties, select a colour, and I just come over here and I can colour in the square. I might want to do a different colour for the other square. And there you go. Now if you want to erase something, you come down here and this is your eraser. And you can see here you have all sorts of different options. So I can select Large, and I come up here and I can just erase lines that I don't wish to have. Now with this option here, I can select a shape that's inbuilt in the machine. So you can see here, here's a number of shapes. I come along here and I have closed shapes, open shapes. This is a saved design that I already have, an outline I already have in the machine. And here are my frame embroidering areas. But let's go and select a pattern. And I'm going to select this flower here. Press OK. Right, so I'm going to make sure that I have the fill icon selected, and I'm just going to colour in the petals. Come over here, select another colour for the centre. Now if I come down here, I can select, I just go all the way around my design, and you can see that these other icons highlight now. Now I can cut my pattern and I can paste it using that clipboard option down here. So if you wanted to take a little piece of a pattern, you can cut it just a piece and you can paste it on and you can move it to wherever you want. I want the whole design in this instance. I can come in here and I can resize my pattern. If I do make a change, I just come down here and that will take it back to the original. And I can also move it across, and again if I use the centre, it'll put it back where it should be. Press OK. I can actually rotate my pattern again, as you can see, 90 degrees, 10 degrees, and again I can reset if I decide I don't like what I've done. And I also have the move buttons on the bottom here. Okay, now if I wanted to duplicate the pattern, I press that option here, and as you can see, I now have a duplicate pattern. But I don't want that, so I'm going to clear that off. And clear it twice to get back to my original. Now this here is where you save your design. You can save it to the machine, you can save it to your USB, and if I have a design in my machine that I want to bring back, I press this one here, and again I have these options of where I can bring it back from. Now once you're happy with your design, it's time to set our stitches, so we just go to Next. Alright, and you can see that it's selected one petal and the fill is just the regular fill, but I want to select all of the design, and I'm going to change the fill. Now I can use a stipple, or I can come over here and I can select a design from a number of designs that are in the machine. I'm going to go with a stipple, and I'm just going to select a colour for it, and I go OK. So you can see there now that my design is all going to stipple out. Now I want to set the stitches for around the edges, so I just keep going through until the machine highlights the stitches. Now once that comes up, I can go select all. Now I can use a satin stitch. I can have it done in a double stitch, a triple stitch. I'm going to select this one here, and again I'm going to select another colour, and I go OK. So you can see now that that's all outlined, and that's going to be in the pattern that I've chosen and in the colour that I've chosen. So I go to preview. It says it won't be saved. You just go OK. And this is how it's going to look when it stitches out. Now I can save the design if I wish to, so I just press this button here again as we did before and save it to the machine or the USB. And I can actually, it shows you the colours again, it shows you the size of the design, the stitches, how long it's going to take you and how many colours there are, and your hoop size. But we go set. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. Now I can make changes at this point. I can come up here and edit. And again, it's given you the options that we went through before. I can change the colours, I can change the size, I can move it round. And now what I'm going to do, you can also add another one, or you can delete it if you decided you don't like it. Now I can come over here and I go to embroidery, and my design is ready to stitch out. So I hope you've enjoyed this overview of what this wonderful machine can do. And as you can imagine, we've only scratched the surface. There is just so many wonderful functions that you're going to absolutely love when it comes to your sewing and embroidery. Now, if you've enjoyed this tutorial, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to catch up with us on Facebook, over on our website, or on Pinterest.